Mesdames et messieurs et tous les autres friends, fairies, and all other creatures, welcome. My name is Merryjest Starchild, and today you will experience a show that is a bit new for me. You know me as the opera singing cat. You hear me saying, Quanto è bello, quanto è caro. Tonight, though, it will be a bit of a different show. Today, you will hear something I composed entirely myself. Wonders is half musical, half operetta, and it was written to be debuted exclusively here at Fantasy Fair. I composed this in over 2 months because I like to punish myself, and I am half mad, Cheshire Cat. A couple of things before we begin. I would like to thank Drewski Hawksley and Gypsy Witch Sands for giving me their vocal talent to perform today, as well as the expert narration of Krim Mip, who will be guiding you through this insane journey. Because of the nature of the scene, there are some sections that have been pre-recorded, especially the dialogues, because it's very hard to have a dialogue with someone who isn't there. But there will also be live singing done over those parts as well, mostly mine. So, if you haven't set your region to midnight, please set yourselves to midnight, as well as make sure that you have particles and projections enabled. There aren't that many particles, but every set does enjoy the use of projections. So if you want to get the full effect of the set, then go ahead and enable projections. And one last thing, please do donate to the cause. We need to fight the Unweaver at all costs. And so, in order to sweeten the pot and help towards the cause, anyone who donates 1,500 linden or more to the kiosk today during the performance, please reach out to our hosts with your donation and your username, because you will receive a free copy of one of my albums. You can either get Star Song or Wintertide, or choose to get the free download of the upcoming album release of Wonders once we do the professional recording session. So keep that in mind. So now all you need to do is grab a cup of your favorite Wonderland tea, set yourself back, and just delve into the wonders. Now, if our wonderful narrator will do us the honors.
She fell, not metaphorically, literally. A second earlier, she had been basking in the sunlight beneath a tree, and the next had her following a white rabbit, a rather large white rabbit who wore a waistcoat and carried an ornate pocket watch into a hole that was deeper than regret. It was not a fall so much as a descent into madness, into wonder, into Wonderland. It was a soft landing, too soft, like the entire universe was cushioning her because it was fascinated by what she would do next. A crazy place, a place where sanity came to die and clocks tick backwards just to spite you. She was small, then gigantic, and somewhere in between. She drank potions and ate cakes like a girl brought up on Grimm's fairy tales and bad advice. The doors talked, the animals bickered, and the hats came with their own brands of insanity. Alice was no damsel. She questioned everything. Wonderland? It bristled under questions. It liked riddles. It was safer that way. She met a caterpillar who puffed out philosophy through a hookah's haze, a duchess who suckled pigs with the same affection as mothers to newborn babes, a hatter who had the manners of a buzzsaw and tea running in his veins, and a Cheshire Cat, always halfway there, like a good lie. They all warned her in their own way. Wonderland, in fact, is not a place, but a test. Fail, and you wouldn't know who you are. Pass, you just get more questions. And then the Queen came, the big red monarch, short-fused with a long list of beheadings. Alice questioned, objected, played a game of croquet with flamingos. She was brave or maybe reckless, but the distinction between the two blurs in Wonderland. The court trial was a farce, literally stacked every deck of cards against her, but Alice held her head high, out of reach of all that nonsense. She refused to bow to madness, and then the dream fell apart at the seams. Back at the trees, where sunlight filtered through the leaves like forgiveness, the tea was cold, the rabbit gone, the sky painfully normal. But normal never stuck with Alice very long. She came back, slipped through the cracks when no one was watching. Curiosity's a hungry thing. It doesn't sleep, it prowls. She roamed Wonderland like a question mark, probing where she didn't belong, asking why, asking what the Jabberwock dreams about, asking where time goes after it's been lost. One day, she just vanished. No flash of light, no sound, just gone. The hatter poured her a cup of silence. The cat stopped grinning. Even the Duchess lowered her voice just once. Some say she found the very edge of the world. Others whisper that she asked a question someone did not want to have answered. Perhaps she became the riddle. Wonderland was not the same afterward. The reds ran, the blues brittled, the sun took a holiday. It rained many more days, but it wasn't the rain that makes tea kettles sing. This was a gray kind of rain, the kind that slaps the rooftops like a bad owner and refuses to stop. Hanging low and heavy, the clouds suspended over the chessboard like regret. Nothing gleamed. Even absurdity sobered up some. The fizz was out of the hatter's tea. He brewed in silence and spoke to silences that would not reply in his shadowy tea club, where 4 o'clock lingered forever. Wonderland didn't die, it just grew quiet, waiting as if the land itself held bated breath, a story without its girl. And the cat? He faded less and less until one day he showed up with absolutely no smile at all. Now he really was a cat with no smile. He missed Alice, and you could tell in that way that cats have of very visibly not missing anyone.
Never grace go I, pulling weeds out of my eyes, pulling off my train of thought, facing all the things I've wrought. My train of thought went runaway. They tied me to the track one day. I haven't been the same, cat sings. When I see you playing cards, I wins. And you're confused by what I do. Hate to tell you I am too. Don't know how to love you safely. Thunderstorms in teacups daily. Chasing rabbits up the trail, running twice as fast to fail. Mirror me, he knows the answer, but the question is much denser. For I'm alone in Wonderland. Let me hide in the cup of your hand. Leave it all on that because they say I'm crazy and wild. If I fall down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole. I fell off the wall and weather. They would put me back together. Doesn't really matter much. Nothing does when you are touched. My Cheshire grin, just like chagrin, self-consciously, unconsciously, contrary-wise and otherwise. I speak of cabbages and kings, keeping these mad hatter eyes. I have the hope you realize that sometimes I can touch the skies, and sometimes I'm a mess of size. But deep within this midward way, or where with all, or where will they? You'll find me the riddle as to why all my clocks have gone awry. My tongue was stalled, my tongue was killed, and all my sentences were still. I reach for you, nobody's there, and you will find me anywhere. Let's be alone in Wonderland. Let me reach for the grave of your hand. And if I fall, if I feel small, please pull me up. If I fall down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole, down the rabbit hole.
It really was one of those days, one where the clouds hang in the sky, unable to decide whether it was a weeping day or just a whispering day. A day when the trees lean in just a tad too close, like they're sharing secrets. Fog crawled across their crooked branches like a thick cat, interrupted only by leaves and ankle-deep in mischief. It had been too long. The Cheshire knew he faced a decision. People came to him for answers or fled when the implications of the answers were too troublesome. If anyone in Wonderland was ever going to find Alice, if it came to that, it was going to have to be him. The trail was colder than the Queen's heart after Valentine's. Right now there was a rumor floating around. Something about the White Rabbit muttering again. Not about being late for a meeting, more of the kind of things said in hushed voices in dark corners about her and taken away. Could be Alice. Word from the Warren was that he had taken to loitering around the mirror in the clearing. The Queen's latest vanity, some shiny monstrosity she had installed in order to preen, hunting snarks in full view of her own magnificence. And just as sure as rain, he was there.
You've been loitering, White. That's not like you. You're more the type to twitch your way past a scene, not stand there like a garden gnome with trauma.
Cheshire, I didn't see you.
No one ever does until I'm smiling. Don't worry. I'm not here to rearrange your fur. I'm looking for the girl. Alice.
I don't know anything, really. I mean, she vanishes all the time, doesn't she? That's what she does.
Not this time. It's been a long time. Cut the fluff, Rabbit. I've seen stiff slide better than you. You've been poking around the looking glass like it smells of carrot stew. Something's feasting on your conscience. Spit it out before it bites you clear through.
It's not safe, Cat. Not this time. She didn't just vanish. She was taken.
Taken? Now that sounds interesting. By whom?
But I don't know. Very well. I didn't see it, but if I had, it would have been a flying thing above the din. I didn't hear it, but had I done, it would have been a frightening roar that left me stunned. Oh, please don't ask me more. His wings did beat the floor, and glad the glade was rid of it when she to wander saw it fit. I didn't feel it, but know you must. He left upon her as she wandered the earth's crust. I couldn't fathom the little lass got snatched up and then he flew right through the glass. Oh, please don't say I spake. Preserve me for my sake. Oh, Mary Ann would have to grieve where she my severed foot received. I have said as dare I may. Now please go away.
You're telling me the Jabberwock took her?
Snatched her right off her feet and laughed.
The Queen's mirror. Of course. Vanity makes a fine door if you know where to knock.
You have to follow. I couldn't. I mean, I'm not made for chasing monsters through glass, but you're not like the rest of us. You'd disappear.
And you stay jittery and alive. We all have our talents. Tell Her Majesty her mirror's about to crack. I'm going hunting.
The surface of the Queen's mirror stirred as the Cheshire Cat fell through, dissolving into streaks of shadow. No splash, no sound, just the soft sigh of a reflection folding in upon itself. He emerged on the other side into the heart of the tulgey wood. The trees hunched in with twisted limbs. The air hung thick, too thick, as though it had long forgotten how to breathe without permission. Fog stuck low to the ground, curling around his paws, as though intent on dragging him under. No birds, no breeze. Just a deep droning that resonated with something ancient, something alive with hunger, buried beneath the silence. He padded ahead, silent, eyes twin slivers of moonlight in the dying world. The hunt had begun.
Was thrilling and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the bog groves, and the mome rats of grain. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the dog, bird, and shun the venomous friend, the snatch. He took his foible sword in hand, long time the manxome foe he sought, so rested he by the tom-tom tree, and stood a while in thought. And as he stood in uffish thought, a Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whippling through the togly wood, and babbled as it came. One, two, and through and through. Long upon blade went snicker-snack, snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with his head he went galumphing back, and hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my English boy. Call, of Merryjest Day. 'Twas driven the slithy toes did gyre and gimble on the wave, all mimsy where the bog grows, and among rats, out!
You're a tough critter to nail down, I'm telling you.
Maybe I smelled something curious slinking where it should not be.
Oh, you know it. I'm the most. Just out hunting for a girl, big eyes with bigger questions.
You're late as hell.
Story of my life. So, then where is she?
Not here.
Gone before you could catch up with her, gone like, or chasing after a ghost at a graveyard, gone.
Gone like bait on a hook. And you're what wriggled in.
I should have known.
She thought she could answer too many questions. Someone didn't like that. But you, cat, always chasing smoke and calling it a lead.
Better than chasing shadows.
I am the shadow.
Well, I'm gonna... What was that?
Your mirror breaking from the other side, it sounds like. Looks like you have no way out.
I knew I should have listened to my horoscope and stayed in bed tonight.
Say goodnight, Cheshire Cat.
The trees even darkened in the tulgey wood as if drawing tighter around the cat in an insidious pull of narrative. And then the air shimmered with old magic and mischief. A gust shuffled through the trees, carrying the scent of lavender, old ink, and starlight. The fairy Columbine appeared whirling through the air, her costume a panoply of color, a fairy queen of forgotten tales, mistress of margins and miracles. Following her were the storybook children, a bright-eyed bunch of waifs who suckled on quills and were swaddled in parchment as babes. With a tap of her wand, Columbine said,
"Oh, no, this is all wrong. He doesn't die in this chapter. Now, children, spit spot, we have some work to do."
And, dancing, they turned the page on the story. Reality hiccuped. The story tripped over its own lines. And in the twinkle of an ill-timed plot twist, the Cheshire Cat was snatched from the jaws of the Jabberwock, blinking his way several scenes ahead beneath a bruised sky. Fate, it seems, still had a soft side for cats. Wandering through, the Cheshire Cat found he was right outside the tea club of the Mad Hatter himself. Guessing one lead was as good as another, he pressed onward.
You're a tough man to track, Hatter, slippery like a greased dormouse in a buttered teacup. Who's the muscle?
Dormouse kept nodding off mid-brawl. Fired him. Meet Denise. She's a door lemur. Doesn't blink, doesn't breathe loud. Ah, Cat. Good to see ya. Smelled the trouble before I even saw the grin. Sit down, but don't make yourself too comfortable.
Comforts for corpses. I'm hunting a girl, blonde, blue dress, eyes like cracked porcelain and memories full of smoke.
Alice. Yeah, she blew through here. Sugar-laced smile, brain full of riddles, and then, poof, gone. Like logic at nap time. She was snatched. White gloves, red intentions. Someone didn't want her asking the wrong question.
You telling me the white rabbit's gone yellow?
I'm telling you the Warren's rotting. Queenie's orders. But she is working for a bigger dog.
No wonder Rabbit sent me on a fool's errand, that coward. Well, where is she?
If I told you, I'd have to bury a metaphor. And I'm all out of shovels.
Skip the wordplay, Hatter. I'm here for facts, not literary criticism.
Facts don't exist here, sweetheart. Just prettier lies with better lighting.
So what do we do then? Wave sharp tongues around till somebody bleeds?
Well, naturally. It's the local sport.
Well, I'm not here to monologue about trench coat Tuesdays and broken dreams. I'm looking for a girl. You gonna help me find her or not?
All right. She's in the Queen's castle. Tweedle's on patrol. More fists than neurons.
Now that's the tea I was hoping for.
Just remember, in Wonderland, truth wears disguises, usually in velvet hats.
Good thing I never cared for hats, eh?
Oof. right in the feather.
So, getting past the Tweedles?
You don't. You get around them.
How do I do that? Like I'm saddling Magellan?
Lucky for you, I've got a supply tunnel. It runs giggle water to the king. It's the only thing that keeps him from screaming into a punch bowl. You slip through, you skip the Tweedles.
Nice. And then what?
That's the question, ain't it? Might want to think on how to handle Queenie before you stroll in tail up.
I hadn't gotten that far.
Then you better start fast. Kitty, you've come with your head and your paws. You're all topsy-turvy, you're chewing your claws. Let me turn over your head, you'll discover that nothing's as bad if you just come on over. Have a cup of tea. Let those troubles steam. How sweet life can be. Leaf-born serenity. I know you have all those questions galore. Before the night's over, you'll end up with more. So let me convey to you all the things you should do. Least I could do with an old friend like you. Because brew unto others as you would have them brew unto you. Well, so you know that our queen has a big bleeding heart. She tore it out of some poor soul who stole tarts. Playing croquet, she comes always ahead. And if you happen to score higher, darling, you're as good as dead. It is said, in you go out, you go same as before. But above the shoulders, you are still upon that dungeon floor. Well, so you know that our queen has a distinctive voice. The lady's born with a brass foot in her mouth. Day and night raging, she's always a sight. A holy terror lashing out at every single little slight. You heard right, a boiling kettle, if too hot, will crack. That's the way, dear Cheshire, it is how you will get our Alice back.
I didn't know I could waltz.
In a castle of cards where she passed the time, there her highness has captured the girl. Red-painted hedges fencing the crime, hard-blazoned banners unfurled. With the Unweaver she's made a pact, and Alice must never be free. She sets their fading, someone must act, and kitten, you know it ain't me. So if joy must return to this Wonderland ours, the course you must set is quite clear. There where the axe beats time to the hours, Cheshire Cats wrestle their fear. Off with her head! Yes, off with her head! Her favorite watch cry, my friend. One thing is certain, you might get hurt, and maybe you might meet your end.
Then what must I do? The path is fraught.
Let me tell you. If you want the upper paw, better learn the Hatter's Law. Listen, kid, best take note till you know the stuff I wrote. You gotta zing, 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 like an incessory sting. You gotta fuss, 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 like a hive just make a buzz. From these parts you've got to play the crowd. It won't do you simply being loud. If you want to have a monarch's ear, gotta show it's you she's got to fear. Gotta zing, 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 like an incessory sting. Gotta blam, zap, wow, pa-pow, make that eagle cry, ow!
Just ow?
Watch out, don't you know that this guy is an old hat at getting under a tyrant's skin?
So if I must stand a chance, gotta learn this fancy dance. Gotta aim, set well, and go where the well-known phrases show that I can zing, zing, zing like an incessory sting. Gotta fuss, fuss, fuss like a hive and make a buzz.
Yes, you really have to make it plain that to her you'll be a royal pain.
Well, what do you know? I have practiced for this all my life.
Zing, 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 like an incessory sting.
I gotta fuss, fuss, fuss like a hive just make a buzz.
Here we go.
Get in trouble on the double. 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 On the double. On the double. On the double. On the double.
The air was thick with the smell of roses and of something fouler, blood perhaps, or even just too much perfume. Through the final curve of the Hatter's forgotten tunnel, the Cheshire Cat slunk. His grin glared like a knife in the gloom. He crawled into the velvet shadows of the Queen of Hearts' throne room, as silent as a secret. There she was, Her Majesty of Mayhem herself, splayed on a web of red silk, her eyes sharp enough to slice through sanity, and above her, pending from a cage under her watchful gaze, was Alice, blue dress torn, spirit frayed yet unbroken. The cat's tail twitched once. This is not a tea party. This is a powder keg with the fuse of a playing card.
Your Majesty, I must confess, you have outdone yourself. The atmosphere, delightfully criminal. The captive, colorful. And you look divinely in red. Still, I see favoring hearts over reason.
If you've come to flatter me, cat, you'll need sharper wits. What do you want?
Me? Nothing. To speak of freedom, injustice, and a very curious girl. Alice doesn't belong in chains.
The Unweaver doesn't like her questions. It doesn't like her shining a light on his unravelling. Some secret things are best not ventured.
Ah, the Unweaver, huh? Always lurking where the truth trembles. And here I thought you were the highest hand in the deck. Funny. So you're just another puppet on a string, huh?
I serve no one. Least of all some whispered myth.
I think you do. I think you got into trouble with the Unweaver because you couldn't keep your temper in check. And now he's got the goods on you. Doesn't he, Queenie?
That is a fabrication! How dare you? They always accuse me of raging. It's not true.
I don't think so. I think you lost it and did something you shouldn't have. Hey, come on. Which one of us hasn't done it? Then you folded when he threatened you. What a queen you turned out to be. Is the crown too heavy when no one's watching? It's okay. You're not a Cheshire Cat. You're only human.
How dare you! Off with his head!
Sounds like I was right. Tell you what, Your Highness. Are you open to a wager?
And what do you have in mind?
Let us put your steely control to the test, shall we? A duel of words. You keep your cool, she stays caged. But if you so much as rage, if fury flares, if the mighty queen boils over, Alice walks free.
And if I win?
If you don't lose your head, then I lose mine. You've been after it for years, haven't you?
How delightfully foolish. You are madder than the Hatter, and twice as arrogant. I accept. I hope your tongue is as quick as your wit, because I intend to stir my tea with it.
Epic rap battles of Wonderland. In this corner, the Cheshire Cat versus the Queen of Hearts. Begin!
Welcome to Wonderland. See the carts fall. Can't run fast enough when you're just 3 feet tall. So bland, even Alice can't care to be curious. Too wimpy for even this queen to be furious. I serve all the tea and my flows are the purest. Don't step up to me, for you're here as a tourist.
Oh, isn't that grand what the cat just dragged in? Garish fur, little sense, and a lopsided grin. I'm afraid there's no room, not for even a mouse. For the Queen of all Hearts always plays a full house. So make haste, grab your bags, you will go on a trip. Have a date with my headsman. You will get just a tip.
You're throwing a party, but who is your guest? I'm already surrounded by all of the best in the land and afar. Better clench that tiara, cause I slay so hard. You will call me Samsara. No queen, just a cart. Are you seriously kidding? Waving scepters around while you do someone's bidding?
This queen is no puppet, there's no strings attached, save the ones that my hangman holds on to dispatch. Nosy felines who don't know they've stepped out of line. You are losing this match, soon your head will be mine. All the kingdom of cards knows who takes all the shots. Let the rebels beware, I behead all the plots. And now I will add one more name to be read, by order of me.
Just give up, Queenie darling. This is an art, and you're still on square zero looking over your man who won't tell you the where, how, the what's it, the when of a crime that has taken you years to suss out. And you think you've got wit, but you're mostly without. You've emptied the coffers, you've showered abuse. So here's a fact that I think you can use. You spent years screaming over one missing tart. God, move on, go in exile. It can be self-imposed. You thought you could beat me, you have now been deposed.
I rule Wonderland with a velvet red hand. Ask the turtle, he knows I'm the will of the land. Your impertinence here is now bordering on treason. Perhaps a few manacles will help you see reason.
A queen who needs feathers, she'll never get better. And your only record here is a head-cutting setter. You ruled by your anger, there's no reason or rhyme. If all that can irk you is dubbed as a crime.
I am done with your games. You'll acknowledge my greatness. Like the white rabbit here, you'll be known for your lateness. As the late great transgressor who thought he'd called the queen out. For his arrogance he's set for a fall. I may rule with the heart, but I am not known for mercy. I am passing my verdict, so the jury's dispersing. And the verdict's been passed, so you may see the floor. At one snap of my fingers, all the heads roll galore.
Take my name off your lips and stop causing a scene, but legit keep them shut. I don't know where they've been. I'm a Wonderland marvel, don't lie me no lies. Jabber, walk your way out or I'll cut you to size with my own silver tongue. Purple blade is not needed to take down a poor fool when a warning's unheeded. Now let me be brief, I've got news to deliver. Here is one ace of hearts that you failed to consider. This match has been lost to your shame and chagrin. You're a shrieking red mess and I still have my grin.
The winner, the Cheshire Cat! Epic rap
And so, like a thunderstorm clap in a teacup, Her Majesty broke out. A mighty roar broke out from that crimson throat, a sound vibrating with rage, pride, and some bitter sour thing which had been festering behind the eyes for far too long. Insults from the cat made her fume, and she stamped up the floor with royal fury. The tiles shattered like a bad lie, buckled like a guilty conscience in on her, and swallowed her whole. Down she went with crown and gown, crashing through the layers of ego and stone, right into the very same dungeon she built for others. Alice stood blinking in sudden silence. She was free. The rest of the castle cheered, or would, but everyone was too busy pretending they had heard nothing. It was safer that way. You never knew when she would climb her way back up. And so Alice danced her way out of the castle, onto the rest of the world where more questions awaited answering, and more answers hoped for questioning. And somewhere in the dark, the Unweaver raged.
There she goes, blithe on the wind she goes, leaving the world in the wake of her tread. There she there she goes, for she's dear to us, clear to us. This I know, to her we hie. She's all things far and near where she goes, and therefore go I. There she goes, unquiet thoughts, there she goes, in the wonder of a day, untying all the knots, there she goes, there she goes, in remembrances awake, there she goes, there she goes, the soft contours of her face.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Things look bleak. I'm not gonna sugarcoat the pill here unless sugar is the only way you can swallow truth anymore. But the catch is, it's not ever as bleak as it could be. We've stared into worse chasms than this, and we've laughed into the void just so that the void could echo. And that's the trick, isn't it? You combat bleakness with absurdity. You blind the shadows with color. You appear grinning not because you're happy, but because a grin's a blade when it needs to be. And when wielded correctly, it slices through despair like butter in summer. So, as the Cheshire Cat, the one who fades but does not forget, permit me to give you the kind of outlook needed for times like this. Everyone, let's go.
Well, I have always seen things a little differently, appearing, disappearing, hardly innocent nor tied down to the ground. I learned to roll and tumble with the punches, bug by indivisible and never make a sound. But heavy is a crown that's always hidden, tender's the heart you never see. Hard and fast shines a grin that we flash, but there's a vulnerable stripe or two on me. Maybe anywhere outside of Wonderland is not for me, my friends. If I leave my grin behind, remind me that we're all mad here and it's okay. If I leave my grin behind, remind me that we're all mad here and it's okay. Well, I've learned to see everybody loud and clear, but the truth comes out in riddles that are safe enough to share. That's how it works in songs, you see, and scribes always looking on me whether I'm not, I'm really there. But heavy is a burden of the wise ones when no one understands a word they say. The Jabberwocks never bothered anyone, he says, but no one believes him to this day. And why should they? If I leave my grin behind, remind me that we're all mad here and it's okay. If I leave my grin behind, remind me that we're all mad here and it's okay.
long has paled that sunny sky. Echoes fade and memories die. Autumn frosts have slain July. Still, she haunts me phantom-wise. Alice, moving under skies never seen by waking eyes. Children, yet the tale to hear. Eager eyes and willing ear lovingly shall nestle near. In a wonderland they lie, dreaming as the days go by, dreaming as the summers die, ever drifting down the stream, lingering in the golden gleam. Life, what is it but a dream?
Go down the rabbit hole and out the other side. Can't go home in the middle of the magic carpet ride. Gotta greet the sun before his lovely daughter moon. Can't forsake that journey for the safety of your room. Until you learn your lesson well. The shadows find me out in Wonderland, Wonderland. Nobody knows the way, but you find it in your dreams. You can find it in your day job, somewhere south of hell. Is it the stripes or the spots that you see? Was it hearts or diamonds, darling, brought you here to me? Darling, you know better than to trust a pack of cards. What have we learned? The world is never as mad as it could be. Never as mad as it could be.
So smile big, darling. The world may be mad, but that's no excuse we can't make it a little bit more wonderful.
And so end this tale. Thank all of our friends for coming along, and remember, Alice well that ends well, the end.
Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. One clarification, I composed and wrote all of the lyrics except the lyrics for the last song, which were written by my good friend S.J. Tucker for her song Cheshire Kitten, and were used with permission, since she is such a wonderful person. Thank you, everyone, and please, enjoy the rest of Fantasy Fair. Go enjoy the Fairlands, give to the cause, and down with the Unweaver. I am Merryjest Starchild, and I wish you all a wonderful fantasy fair.